100 days ago, it all started like this. With the help of technology and science. Welcome to the Oasis. Following these 4 steps, I was able to create it. The most important for our vivarium is the foundation. They are living in a humid environment, so we have to make sure that we can evacuate the water. Let's start with a drain. Any water going over the bulkhead will get drained into a bucket. This is what we'll need. We need to use a diamond hole saw. As opposed to a regular drill bit, it will grind on the glass. I couldn't find one with a gasket, so I bought this really useful O-ring kit. To be safe, I'm adding some Teflon tape. Now we have to make the intake to make sure that no debris could clog the tube, which would flood the animal. Just like that, it's done. A false bottom will allow the soil to drain. Dart frog live mainly on the ground. Using an egg crate, I'm cutting it at the right dimension. It must fit the entire surface of the bottom. Then I'm raising it to ensure that it does not touch the water that sits in the bottom of the tank. It needs to be sturdy as it will hold the weight of the soil. This concludes our first chapter. We can now work on the background, making sure they could hide and feel safe. It will be made out of cork, a natural and lightweight material that can withstand humidity and is easy to work with, using hot glue to hold them in place. Now I'm preparing the mesh that will hold the soil using a mosquito net. The access will be hard, so I'm doing it now. For our next step, we need to tilt the tank to be able to apply the foam. To ensure the adhesion, I am cleaning it with alcohol. I would not recommend that brand. It is supposed to be a thin layer, but that's fine. I will carve it later on. Repeat these steps for the other sides. And this is why I told you to tilt it. I'm putting the mesh before I'm not able to. After a day, I have to carve the foam using scissors or a knife. I need to make sure to remove any of the surface because it will prevent the adhesion of the glue. To cover the foam, I'll be using some cocoa fiber. With silicone and a brush, I'm covering every surface of the foam, then apply a generous amount of cocoa fiber. It makes a lot of dust, so wear a mask when you're working. The hardest is now done. It's a mix already made for dart frog, but I'm also adding some moss so it could hold more moisture. I tightly packed this substrate on the edge so everything is safe. I added some accessories that I found in the shop. They will decompose with time and help them feel like a real rainforest. You know, frog eat fly, but these type are really small and they could escape through any gap, and I certainly do not want them in my house. Any gap that could fit a fly get closed by silicone or mesh. For the lid, I'm using glass so it could hold moisture. Before using it, I need to sand the edge because it's sharp. Using sandpaper and passing few time on each edge, this ensures that I can manipulate them without cutting myself. I bought different size of glass so I could play with the level of humidity inside depending on the gap. I spray some water and let it for a few days so the humidity could build up. We have the right environment. it's time for the next step. I was keeping the plant for weeks. I just water them daily, but some were doing well and some not. There is another way to keep the humidity. I bought this kit containing everything, with the nozzle, pump, and its power supply, the tube, accessories, and the filter. The connection is made without any tool using this connector. I'm going to install a pair of dual nozzle. Using the same diamond hole saw, I'm making 2 holes, one on each side. It is really convenient because you can adjust each nozzle to different direction. Using the included tube and knife, I'm cutting the end to make sure that it fits with no leak. The kit is expandable, but in this case I won't use more nozzle, so I'm plugging it, and on the other side I'm using a 90-degree connector. I'm doing the same on the pump, then connecting the output of the pump to our nozzle. The intake is much simpler, you just need a tube and a filter on the end. I'm using reversed osmosis water so I don't get any stains on the glass. Lastly, we connect to the power. It sprays water until the power is off, which is the task of the timer. When selecting your plant, make sure that you get non-toxic one. I bought these for 200. For this type of plant, you remove them from the pot and plant them in soil. I have another type with no roots, so I'm using some super glue to hold them in place. With the planting done and the background, it looks amazing. With the lid in place, we can now install the stainless steel grill using a thin strip of Velcro or double-sided tape. I split it because I couldn't find a thinner strip. Using a pair of scissors, I cut it to the size that we measured previously. Make sure that every corner is sealed. I'm also using the double-sided tape for the middle gap. Presently, we have a safe vivarium. Also, before I forget, we have to make sure that we have no leak on the bottom drain. Seems to work as intended. Thankfully, no leak. We are now ready for our first creatures, the cleanup crew. This isopod will help us cleaning by eating any decaying plant material, leaves, wood, and plant debris, but also dead animals and fungi. Springtails will also clean the isopod and eat molds. They are so sneaky you'll never see them anymore. Frogs either spend their time eating or sleeping. For that reason, we have to make sure they have enough food before they arrive. I'll show you how to make the best food using all of these ingredients. You can easily find in any supermarket. It will provide all essential nutrients. We have to prevent any deficiency during their growth. Everything must be clean to prevent any mold during the process, which is why we use cinnamon on the top. The wood shaving is used as a media for them to walk on. Remember when I say walk on, we have some wingless fly. You need about 20 fly to start the culture. I have 2 species, the winged fly and the wingless. And trust me, Bobby see the difference. Everything wasn't going well. You'll see later on. After 8 long hours of driving, but it was definitely worth it. The travel was fine. Also for the frog. Excuse me. I'll pick this cocoa shell. I'm sure it will serve as a nice pool. We've done our best for this ecosystem, but trust me, it was love at first sight.
Bingo!
I've got 2 species. You're not supposed to mix them, but I'm already planning the next vivarium. I also got this gecko couple.
Let's do it!
Maybe this guy is not too happy to be here.
I love you!
Look at what I told you about the cocoa shell.
Stop it!
I don't know what to think about this guy.
How you doing? How's it going, man? Busted!
Maybe they are hungry. I'm going to try with some cricket. They come in this plastic box and you just shake the cardboard.
On your mark.
With no time, they
Get
reacted.
set. Go!
Nope, I don't like that. Let's try with some fly then. It is so funny how they react to you. For now, what I only have to do is feeding them. So, enjoy the show. They either spend their time eating or chilling. At least that's what you think. But the rain started and they all seek for a safe place. Once the storm gone, the chaos came back. Being a constant hunter should make them experts. Not really. I tried feeding him but he refused, so I added more flies. The gecko doesn't like cricket. I'm also not a fan. Each of them has its own territories. Yeah. But there is more thing to do. I found this chip light that's supposed to be hanged. I need to design something much better than this flower pot. I took some measures and going to my computer. I designed something that was quick and at the right height for the light. From the drawing to the reality, I have this machine. It's a 3D printer. It will melt the filament into successive layers to build the part. Depending on the application, there is different type of colors and material. It's not of the best quality, but I've just tried this new material. And it works as intended. Something also joined us. It's called a mite, and they are living with the fly. They drain the blood of the fly, and I do not want to give that to my frog. I had an idea. If you studied history, you know around castle there is moat. They are used to drown any intruders. So, what if I apply the same principle? I won't drown the mite, but I had a better idea. As of now, the mite could still go through the moat, but what if I fill it with something even better? First, let's start the machine and change the filament for something more colorful. Hey, hurry up. I don't have the time for that. Much better. With the magic of 3D printing, I can have more. I think I found a glitch, but if it works... Each fly castles have now its own mode. I am now filling it with diatomaceous earth. It's a natural insecticide made of sharp particles that can damage the exoskeletons of insects, causing them to dehydrate and die. Sounds better than water, right? Time now for the next project. Using a fan. It's all warm and humid in there. They love it. Yeah, that's what I see most of the time. I've kept the schedule of watering 3 times a day. I found a tip online and here it is halfway through. It's just a fan blowing air on the glass which will help evaporate the water, but it's not enough.
Try again.
This time I had my own idea. Something I've never seen.
Yes.
This is Kenthal wire. It is commonly used in vape or DIY foam cutting machine. It's made out of a material that heats up when applied with current. It acts as a resistor, so the temperature depends on the length. A regular heating mat is about 20 watts, so this one was roughly 14 with a 12-volt power supply. My plan did not work as intended, but that's fine, it just means that I need to make it longer. I'm really happy with the results. The final version is done on the right side. It's much cleaner. Although it's not perfect, it's still 100 times better. Dart frog, like many other reptiles, synthesize vitamin D3 through the light ray, mainly the UVB. They use it to help with calcium absorption. The problem is that we use glass that filters the UVB, so I can't even use another light for that. I must use a supplement at least once a week, and it's called dusting. I don't think it's convenient to do it that way, so... comes to the rescue. I made a cricket sieve, and another one for the fly. They fit perfectly in the cup. They work as any other sieve. We have some super nutritious cricket or fly. I'm sure they smell good from how they reacted. Look at this expert hunter. I think my cricket have some superpower. The gecko is finally coming out. They can climb on any smooth surface and even the ceiling. It seems that he tried to tell me something. Let's go for it.
Whatever.
Maybe the cricket is too big for him. Then he climbed down, looking at me. I don't understand, stop looking at me. Oh, now I get it. He wants some fly.
Bingo!
Don't you know the fly dance? I'll prepare some super fly for you. You deserve it. Did you know they can act like dog? Yeah. There you go, some rich nutrient fly. This is it. We've made the best ecosystem for the dart frog but also the gecko. Let me know in the comment if you liked it.